Hey you guys, I just want to say thank you for all the support and encouragement that I've been getting through this journey. It's really meant a lot, and I just want to take a moment and let you all know that you really appreciate it. So thank you. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Hey you guys, my name is Rashad Murphy with Money News Management. Today I want to talk to you about a free way to increase your credit score. Recently I dropped a video about myths surrounding credit cards, and one of the things that I talked about was a secured credit card. It came to my attention that not everyone can afford a $200 and $300 deposit, so that's what led to this video. And if you would like to see that video, I'll link it down in the description below. So your credit score is broken down into 5 parts, 35% of which is your payment history, 30% of which is your credit utilization, 15% is the length of your credit life, 10% is new credit, and 10% is what's referred to as mixed credit. Now, each of those things all mean different things, and you may know what some mean, so I'll break them down real quickly for each individual portion. So first, payment history is what it says to be. It's your history of how you pay, whether you had late payments, missed payments, or you've been paying on time. It basically just tells the creditors and the banks how liable you are to default on your loan based on past payment history. Now, the second part is credit utilization. Credit utilization is basically a formula that says how much of a credit that you actually use compared to the amount that you actually have. Now, the next one is length of credit history. Now, this one basically just means how long you've had your oldest account compared to how long you've had your newest account. Some people refer to this as the average life of credit because, your oldest account and your newest account will average out, and that'll give you the average life of your credit history, and that's what goes into the formula. The next 2 components are the lowest percentages that goes into your credit score, which are new credit and mixed credit. New credit basically just means you have a new credit card account. That's it, a new line of credit. It's just as it sounds. And mixed credit just means what the mixture of all your credit is, whether it's car loan, a mortgage payment, or a credit card. That's all. And for this video, we'll be focusing on the 3 large components of the composition of your credit score, which is payment history, credit utilization, and length of credit history. Now, the reason we'll be focusing on these 3 is because together they make up 80% of your credit card composition. And with that being said, if you perform these steps correctly, you can actually go from a very low credit score to a very high standing that can put you in a better financial position for anything that you may need, whether it's a car loan, applying for a better credit card, or you just want better interest rates on anything that you may be trying to do. Now, before we begin, I would like to give the disclaimer that this is an option that everyone is capable of doing, but it might not be a viable option for everyone. Okay, by now you guys are probably thinking, oh my God, Rashad, you've been talking for this long. We still have no idea how to increase our credit score. What's up? What are you doing? Let's get to the point. Okay, let's get there. This is a method that not a lot of people talk about because there are some risks to it, but we'll get into those. Now, this method is literally just becoming an authorized user on someone else's account. If you know what an authorized user is, this method may sound kind of scary. But if you stay tuned to the very end, pay attention to these steps, and remember to be very responsible with your account, then everything will work out just fine. You might end up helping someone do very great, or someone can help you do something very great. And that's exactly what this channel is for, to help everyone excel and increase their financial literacy. Now, I'm not saying that this is the only method to increase your credit score, because there are plenty of other viable options out there that hold a lot less risk, but they do cost money. Now, this is a method that does not require a lot of money and requires a lot of trust with the person that you are doing this with. To explain what an authorized user is, in layman's terms, it's basically a person that you allow to have access or authorization to your credit card account. Meaning that if you allow them to use your card, they have permission from you and the creditors saying that you allowed them to make whatever transactions on this account. Now, I will say this, for those who decide to utilize this method, you are not required to give the authorized user access to their own card or your card. This is simply stating that you are giving them permission to be on your account.
Oh my God, Rashad, why would I give them access to my account and not give them a card? And why would I trust anyone with my credit card account?
Now, I understand the immediate risk and questions and fear and all of the other things that may derive from someone actually recommending something like this. But understand that most people that do this are doing it for their children, doing it for their spouses, doing it for their significant other, or just someone that they really care about their progression in life. For the authorized user, this is very important because this video is to help you increase your credit score and put you in a better financial position. Now, let's start with some of the risks because I know that's all that a lot of people care about. And the main risk that you have to remember here is the person who is allowing authorization onto their account is in complete and utter control. And I know that may sound scary, but it's okay as long as you remember these few questions. What is your credit score? Do you have any missed or late payments? What is your credit limit? What is your credit balance? What do you use your credit card for each month? And approximately how much do you spend? How long have you had a credit card? And how many accounts do you have? These questions address all three major components of what goes into a credit score. And they are non-invasive, so if a person is actually willing to help you, they will have no problem answering these questions. If you won't remember those questions or don't know what answer you should be looking for, I'll put the questions in the description and I'll answer them with a few responses that you should be looking for. Some things to remember about being an authorized user on someone else's account is that if you do not already have a credit card, then this becomes your oldest line of credit. And if you remember, 15% of the composition of your credit score is length of credit history. So once you're removed from this account, your credit score will drop because you've deleted the oldest line of credit from your account. A solution to this problem is within the first and second months of you being on someone else's account, once you see that your credit score is increased, go on Credit Karma, see the cards that they recommend, and apply for one. Once you get that account, your newest line of credit and your oldest line of credit won't be that far apart. What this means is once you're removed from that account, your credit score won't drop as much because your oldest line of credit and your newest line of credit wasn't that far off. So the average stays pretty close together. The number one risk that you need to be aware of is that the person authorizing your usage on this account has complete and utter control of what happens to your credit. So if you forgot to ask those questions, or if you just believe that you trust this person and something happens, you might be in a very tough situation. For example, if the person that's authorizing your usage onto their account overutilizes their credit each month, then your score won't actually increase the way that you need it to. And if they overextend themselves during 1 month and forget to pay, your credit score will take a hit because of that missed payment or that late payment. And I understand that that can be really scary because you're already in a bad spot with your credit and you'd hate for someone to ruin your credit even more. And with that being said, there's actually a solution. If something happens and that person misses a payment or has a late payment and it drops your credit score, you can actually dispute that transaction. And what it'll do is it'll actually take all of their credit history off of your account. Now, this can be a good thing and a bad thing depending on your circumstances. Now, this can be a good thing for those who've only been on this account for about a month or two. Now, this may be a really bad thing for those who are on their parents' accounts. And this is just an example because a person who's on their parents' account has usually been on that account since they were young. And by the time they're ready to open their own credit card, years have passed, meaning that that is their oldest line of credit. And when it's averaged into this algorithm, when it's taken off, their credit score could drop a good 30, 40 points. I understand that this may not be a viable option for everyone. I just wanted to present you guys with an option that was free, that you didn't have to have any money up front to help you boost your credit score. Now, this may not be something that everybody can do, but it's something that everybody is capable of doing. Okay, you guys, that's all for today. And thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. And for those who are going to utilize this method, please understand that this is something that you only do with the person that you trust. And if you trust them, still remember those questions because you need to have all the information before you go into this. I understand that credit cards can be really confusing and credit card debt is really scary. So if you have any suggestions for a person to increase their credit score, feel free to drop it in the comments below. While you're there, go ahead and drop a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you next time when we return to help you manage your money.